Good evening, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
we got a stand in for Tez tonight. Tez is too tired, so
all right, Jenners.
All right. We haven't got rid of Tez. It's just Luke's standing in. He's our official stand-in. He's been on before, you know. He has. Everyone knows Luke. Everyone knows Luke. So just want to say thank you to Luke again for standing in. Thank you, Luke.
No problem, guys. No problem. Pleasure.
So So everyone. I've done that wrong. I got I cocked up straight away. I've looked at. I've put US.
You came back, Luke. You came back, Luke. You know what I mean?
Oh, let's hide that. Let's hide that. Let's all the things I was supposed to do, and I cocked that up straight away. There you go. Right, save. Show. There we go. There we go. It would be the same, wouldn't it? It would be the same. So, yes. Welcome to episode 86 of ZSR. So all we've done, we've just changed the U for a Z. So
I'm gonna have to call it ZSR though, aren't I? Z for all the Americans and Canadians.
Yeah. And we've
Tez
kept the.
Tez will love this. It sounds a bit Spectrumy now, doesn't it?
Oh no, it's his secret. It's his ploy, isn't it? So yeah. You want to know what Tez was looking for online when he put ZSR in? We're not going to tell you. So, well, you saw that in the chat, didn't you? See it in the Twitter chat?
I think he was looking for AI art. I think.
Oh, right. Oh yeah, I mean his AR art.
He wasn't happy about that, was he? Last week, that AR.
Oh, he was steaming, wasn't he? Steaming. Right, let's see who's here.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Rob. Oh, these are all early ones. Oh, Gerard.
Gerard.
Matt's collection.
Good old Matt.
I like seeing he's putting up rocket videos on his YouTube. I like that.
I saw that. Yeah,
it's very nice. Yeah. Good evening. Good evening. Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Howdy,
Desi T.
I know.
We'll see Desi T in a few weeks.
Ooh.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, I came up to me the last one. I felt a bit famous. He said, "Oh, it's Matt. Look at that. It's Matt. Look at that." I was like, "Oh yeah, it's nice." Yes. Oh, Jonathan. Yeah. We got that. Oh, DTM. Hi, DTM.
Dave.
All right, Dave.
Dave.
There's David.
How you doing, mate?
Yeah, we're missing a Janner tonight. Sorry, Dave. Yeah, he's David. Yeah,
Honorary Janner.
Yeah.
GeForce. Good evening, GeForce. Oh, the stream keeps disappearing. Do you notice that? It keeps disappearing. No, was it my computer? Oh, when I click on the chat there, it's vanishing.
Another computer cocking up.
Oh, don't. Yeah, that's partly Tez's computer. His laptop is broken. Everyone. So he, with panic stations. So he couldn't come on.
I bet it's all those bloody Spectrum files on it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
All the Spectrum games. He keeps
up with them.
No, he's overloaded it on Spectrum games. The computer got overexcited, which is hard for a Spectrum game.
He loves it. You know what? Look, I love that he loves it. But do you ever look at some of these and go, "What is this?" You know, it doesn't even look like a game. It's like, what enjoyment must he be getting out of that?
They didn't put any effort in those Spectrum games, did they? Just no effort at all.
If I see it and I think, "Oh, I remember that," but most of them are like that. What's that? You know?
I showed our Jude. I said to Jude, "Come and look at some of Tez's stuff," and he's just stood there like, "What are you watching?" Do you know what I mean? He's like, "No." But he loves him.
He loves it.
Yeah, I actually still got my contact lenses in as well. I'm a bit of a panic tonight. I had to see my mum, and I got family and stepfather in hospital, but he's all right. But I come back late, and I've just still got my lenses in. So everyone's like, "Oh look, Matt's got his lenses in." So
he says that, Luke. He says that. I think there's some people are asking about him at Echo. Now he's wearing contacts. Next week I'll have a big wig on.
I'm going to get one of those glue-on wigs. Yeah. Glue-on wig. Yeah.
Me too. I'm going to get one. Yeah.
Well, yeah. not gonna start. No.
Hey, G-Force.
Marky D.
Chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip. Oh, Darren's here. Evening, Darren. Evening.
Hey, Darren.
Yeah.
Oh, can we say on behalf of ZSR as well, or ZSR, sorry, happy birthday to George Aitken and happy birthday to Orlando. Happy birthday.
George's
birthday.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Birthday, yeah.
Yeah, it's George's birthday, isn't it? Yeah, I saw that pop up. Yeah. Action Force galore, as he's got it, and
Action Force galore.
Yeah. Kevin,
Hi, Kev.
good evening,
Evening,
Kev.
Kevin.
Jumpy. Hello, Jumpy.
Good old Jumpy.
What's Des saying? Late again. Are you still practicing those dance routines?
We've got 2 dances on tonight, though. I know Luke's retired, but he used to be king of the Fridays, Luke.
Oh, give over.
All the best. But yeah, I know. We didn't know what else. We just thought about it afterwards and said, yeah, let's just stick with it. Just change the Z. It was easier, wasn't it?
Motto, aren't we? The toys, games, and gravy.
Oh yeah. That was on the thumbnail. Yeah, I had to. Yeah, that was my makeshift thumbnail. We'll get the official thumbnail. Tez to make some better ones. That was the quick one I knocked up. So because Tez's computer had died, so I had to do the thumbnail as well. So
you did a good job. It was all right.
Yeah,
I just grabbed Tez's old picture and just played around with it for a bit. So yeah. What's that? Was it a zombie?
Zebra collar. Okay, there's something there.
Oh, Matt. Good evening, Matthew. Hey, good evening. What's Jonathan saying? Matt, have you forgotten to press the go? No. It's all good. We're live. Yeah, we're all live.
A few minutes late.
Yeah, what was that? I did that with Tim, didn't I? Yeah, that was with Tim when I had him on. Yeah, when I did we were going for about 10 minutes. I went, Tim, we're not live. And he said, oh, well, that was a good bit of banter at the beginning. I was like, yeah, I copped that right up. Got to start again. Yeah. Keith's here.
Hi, Keith.
Hey, Keith.
Hi, Keith. Black Day.
BOE.
Yeah, as we have noticed, we have John Ruler on tonight. He's coming on at 9, hopefully. We got the times right. Central, Eastern, Pacific, all that. We never know, but hopefully he'll be on. So at 9.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised at this because you work with planes and stuff. I would have thought you were a da band. Do you know what I mean? I would have thought you'd go Timbuktu 5 hours behind us, something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah. No. On our other building where like all the offices and that are, we have all the different clocks and stuff, because we have a main troll and that, and they control all the. But we were engineering, so we don't really get involved. So I just look at them and fix them. I don't really get in that side of it. So yeah. Oh, Baldry's here. Evening, Baldry. Boo. And I've not tried the dress on yet, Baldry. I apologise. So,
you say that. What?
Did you see? You missed that. You missed. Baldry sent me some Christmas presents, and one of the presents was a tennis dress. And I said to Mark, look at this, what Baldry's got me. And he's like, you got to show that on the live stream. So I'm not showing that on. I did, though. I did. Yeah. So. Hi, Brett. How you doing, buddy? Your brother's here. He's feeling better now.
I watched him this morning on Stu's Universal Collectors. Did a good job. It was really good. He did a good job. Yeah, it was all right.
Right, I watched that. I saw it drop, but I haven't watched it yet.
God, Stu's getting about, and he gets all these big YouTubers on, doesn't he? Get all these big YouTubers.
He's a lovely bloke, Stu. He's a really nice, good guy.
Yeah. Stand-in teacher. I got that one straight away.
It'll go away one day. That
it won't.
No,
I don't see the resemblance.
No.
Yeah.
Hi, Pete.
That's not Tez. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, he's not going to start swearing about Spectrum games or was it
Oh, might
AI
do.
art or AIR? Was it art? Yeah. What's shabby?
And
our Luke.
And our Luke.
How are you, Luke? Anyway, how's things with you, Luke? How's your YouTube channel going? How's things going? You happy?
Yeah, I'm a bit cold. It's cold over here in the UK, and our heating's going off very early now. So hence the habit. No, everything else is good. Everything else is good. Channels, you know what? The channel's going fine, and I don't focus on it. But my God, are my subs just
They're stuck? Yeah, creeping.
I mean, I'm not bothered, but you just look and just think.
It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. You hit that 1,000 and then it just goes nothing for like, you think, oh, it's going to get more. And it just crawls, doesn't it? And it's a struggle, isn't it?
But I'm enjoying it. No, I'm enjoying it. Videos they'll keep coming weekly. A couple of good ones coming. I won't give anything away. But aside from that, I'm all right.
Awesome. But I know that about the views and stuff. It's funny that as well, because I have the same thing as you. I'm not really bothered about views and subs, but you kind of are when it doesn't go anywhere for weeks. You know what I mean?
I'm not hung up on it, but you notice it. You do notice it because when you go to look at your channel, maybe to check how your latest video's doing or whatever, you glance at your subs, don't you? You just do, and they barely move.
We barely move. Well, they go backwards most of the time. They go backwards.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I drop a video every Sunday, when I drop a video, you can guarantee I lose 4 or 5 immediately. I always do every Sunday, and by the next week, you've usually picked them back up again. But you can guarantee every Sunday I'll drop 4 or 5 immediately. Yeah, when a video drops.
Yeah. I think we weren't sure if he was going down the docks tonight, Tez, as well, because Chris Smith's always got on some extra shifts down the docks. So we thought he wouldn't say nothing. So
you see, Luke, we all get it. Me and my arms. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's like the Red 5 Designs thing, right? So Johnny draws me my Red 5 Designs logo, and I showed Jen. She goes, "Oh, you." Right, this is no word of a lie, right? Oh, we got your horse teeth perfect. And I went, this is no word of a lie. I said, hang on a minute, we've been married 20 years and you've never said, I haven't got horse teeth. What you have, I just haven't said it. And I thought, horse teeth. 20 years.
Honorary Jenna, David.
Honorary Jenna, yeah. He couldn't get any more. He couldn't get any more south. Luke couldn't. No, he couldn't. No. A class where you live, it is your south, isn't it? I guess compared to some places, it could be class. Or is that blasphemous? Yeah.
I'm a northern monkey, me.
Yeah. What's he saying? What's that? Oh, that was lost on me. That was lost. Yeah. No, I don't get that one, John. Don't get that one. It's the PE teacher from Grange, yeah.
Darren, we thought you'd rise above Darren. We thought you would, but
come on.
I don't know. Why don't you come on your assault, Luke, and just get him?
I'll just jump off and into the chat.
Good evening, Cameron. Good evening. Yeah, see, Cameron's he's become official Hot Toys collector now. I can say he's got a few, but he still gets the Black Series. So I see he gets the Black Series still. Yeah, I did pop into Smith's tonight, and I thought, I can pop in on the way to my mum, and I just stared at the Black Series, and they had what's his name there, Ned the robot, from Obi-Wan. Ned B, is it? Ned, I forgot what the name was. His name is it Ned B? Yeah, and it was still 30 quid, and it was in that windowless box now, and they had 5 there, and I just stared at it and went.
You can go into a shop and stare at different ones is nice. I can go into the shop and stare at the same 2 that I've seen.
You can stare at empty hooks, can't you? Yeah.
I was looking the other day. I don't buy a lot of Black Series, but obviously I bought the 40th anniversary Empire ones because it's my favorite movie and whatever. I thought, I'll get the Jedi Fett when it comes out. Like 35 quid something, and all the rest are 20 something. I know Fett tax and all that, but 35 quid for a Black Series.
We've had about 12 Fets in the past year. We've had about 12 of them.
Well, I'll never complain about having Boba Fett, but 35 quid when all the rest are what, 25?
It's the old mold in it, Matt, as well as the Empire Strikes Back mold, isn't it? So, is it the Jedi mold?
It's the Jedi, the Jedi one, yeah. It's the deluxe Boba Fett, isn't it? And they've just put it in the bubble. Yeah.
So it makes me laugh. You look at 3 3/4 inch from about 8-10 years ago. Even when the Force Awakens 5P away came with all those little parts you can make machines, but now it's called deluxe. What? Oh, okay. You know what I mean?
I know.
All right.
It just annoys me when they were saying on Hasbro, saying, "Oh, well, the Boba Fett's one of the most intricate figures because it's got so many layers." But it's not. It's the Walmarts and the Targets pushing the price up more. So they just want to get there. They know they'll clear them out, won't they? Boba Fett's. People will buy more than one as well.
Yeah. I
vintage.
How are you doing?
He's got a new video.
Dave. Sorry.
Yeah, he's got a new video coming this Sunday, I think, isn't he, or something? He's got something coming. Yeah, his toy SOS. He's going to be.
That'll be a good mini series that if it gets going.
Yeah. Is that what he's going to be fixing people's toys? Just like another toy.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I don't want to divulge too much.
Yeah, you must.
He has mentioned it in the past. Yeah, I don't know a bit, but it'll be good if it. I mean, Dave's stuff's always good in it, but.
Yeah. He did that book review. It was really good.
People that watch this, if your car breaks down, send it round to Dave's. He'll fix it for you. That's what's going on.
You know what? Dave must be sick of me. The amount of times I contact him and go, I've just bought this and it might need some repair. But bless him, he always says, send it to me.
I reckon he loves it though. I reckon he's waiting for them phone calls or waiting for those messages, you know.
It does, but you still kind of feel guilty, don't you? Even though he's like, send them. I still feel guilty by asking him, but
I think it's the same way with me and the furniture over here. When I make something, it's usually more or less the same thing. But then when someone asks for a commission and they'll give me something like, I don't know, I had one last year for The Last Unicorn, which was an 82 animated movie. You kind of get like, oh, nice, because it's a bit more challenging, a bit more this. And I think that's what Dave probably. I can't speak for him, but he will probably get toys off you guys. He wouldn't consider doing himself. You know what I mean? So I reckon it's
He really. I think he gets a sense of satisfaction out of it, doesn't he? And enjoys doing it. But I mean, I've got something at the moment that he's said to me, send it. But I just feel so guilty because he's fixed so many things of mine. Yeah.
See, I'd be the same as Scooby when he was putting that Eternia playset together and he broke that rail. That's how I'd be. And how many times do you watch a VTR video? I don't know whether you do it or not. And he's stressing on something. You sat there going, oh, no, it's got to go. And he never does. It's always perfect. But you're like,
Yeah. Oh, everyone's saying hello. Oh, Chief Geek Strong. Good evening. How you doing? That was it? Did you see Geek Strong's Lego thing he bought? And it was he had the same thing that happened to you, Shabby. He bought a big box Lego and at Walmart, and it was online exclusive only. So they took it into the shop and returned it. When he got it home, it was all the wrong Lego. They just stripped it, and they bought it, and then they must have glued it back down. And then Dino bought it, thinking, "Wow, look at this!" It was. I don't know if he returned it, Dino. I don't know if he did. So,
they're not. They couldn't care less. The people in customer service in Walmart, mate, you could take back a 6-year-old pair of trainers and they'd refund them.
I think it was like 200-300 quid. I think, Shabby. So dollars. I think it was. Would they return that even if you got the receipt? I guess
they're not interested in the minimum wage. They're working there. They've had it all day. They're not. It's like when I got Jen to take it back because I mean, you know, we were all like, oh, I'm not sure about taking it back. He took it back.
Yeah.
They didn't even look at the box. They didn't even ask her what was wrong with it. You know what I mean? There's figures missing in it. How do they know I didn't take the figures out?
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of videos, I don't know, on TikTok in America of like they're stopping everyone now when they go out. They've got to check their receipts. Is that a thing? Yeah,
they've always done that at Walmart. But you walk out, you got your big thing, and they ask for your receipt, and you don't even look at it. They just go.
All right. Well, I've just seen videos where they've been stopping people and they're saying you stole it, and they're like, "No, here's my receipt." And they've been like, getting really funny.
If you've got like a TV in your cart and you're taking it out, something like that, then they'll, you know what I mean? Yes, if you just don't carry it,
Oh, it's Mike. Hello, Mike. We've had Mike on before. So, Hello, how you doing, buddy? How you doing?
We'll have to have Mike back on again. He's good, Mike.
Yeah. Mike doesn't like using the camera. Mike's the one. He's just the voice. He's just the voice. Yeah. We should do that one night. Just the voices. Yeah.
No, I might refrain. From that.
No, we'll be all right tonight. Nothing weird tonight.
Well, no promises, Matt.
Well, yeah. I just keep seeing more stuff about pyramids, and I'm fascinated with the pyramids. I'm like,
go on,
really interesting.
This is. I find this
when you just read how heavy those stones are, and they carried them like halfway across in Egypt up to Cairo. You're like, how did they get these massive stones that far up? And it's amazing the technology.
Tree parts, Walden. I don't know. I want them.
Then you go and look at the Mayan stuff. I've been watching some of that, and how the stone has been cut so well that it don't use mortar, and they just drop into place, and there's no mortar. And they're saying that the technology for that is so advanced. We don't do it yet. You know what I mean? We still use a mortar when we build brick.
It's funny, we're having this conversation this morning. I watched. It came up on YouTube about the conspiracy about them going to the moon. Apparently, it was on the BBC last year or the year before. It was on YouTube this morning. Our side told me about it, and I watched it. And I never thought about this. Did we go to the moon or didn't we? But after watching that documentary, you're kind of like, I don't know. Did we go? Or, it's like...
Yeah, they say the radiation would kill it. Then the radiation from the sun would...
Stuff, about the flag flapping and the different shapes. And where the lunar had landed, there's footprints underneath it. How could there be footprints under it? Just weird little things.
And I've been... I think one of those, the ones that the what's the things that there's the vehicles that are on Mars, the robot things that have been driving around. They've been picking out like really weird pictures of like pipes and stuff going in and out of the ground and going weird places and all sorts of weird shaped stuff. Yeah. And you're like, is there something inside Mars, or is it existing? Something left over? Look at this. We're going. I know. I look at all these channels on TikTok where they're like all this conspiracy theory stuff. You get lost in it. You could get lost in it. You've got lizard people.
So anyway, guys, toys.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was lost. I was just going then. Yeah. Don't worry about us, guys.
Loves it.
Do you think I should start my own second channel and I could just talk about pyramids all week? And yeah, I could do that, couldn't I? Yeah. I don't know. I'll probably get a load of weirdos watching me, wouldn't I? So. I shouldn't say that, should I? No, only subscribers. Brilliant. I might be losing some subscribers in a minute. Huh?
Imagine if you did do it and it ballooned to 50,000.
I know it went massive. Yeah, it went massive. Yeah,
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
Me and Tez could be on talking about Stonehenge every week. Yeah,
Stonehenge. Hey, Michael.
Hello, Michael. Sorry, yeah. What's he saying? Oh, PGM. Yeah. Oh, Darth was the Wizard. Hi, mate. Good evening.
Hey, Wizzy. Nice to see you, pal.
Oh. Yeah, what happened, Dino? Let us know. I want to see if it's in the chat. If you got it sorted. Yeah. It looks cold. Yeah, he's turned his heating off. Can't afford it.
Because I'm warm, and I think why you two dressing like that, especially you, Luke, it's making me even warmer.
It's the sweat's pouring off him. Yeah. As you say, you don't have the heating on once a week. Is it one week in the year? Is it maybe?
If that. I mean, it's like I said, and that's only because of Jen, because Jen feels the cold, but I'm from the north. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, look at that. 80 degrees in Florida. Was it? Yeah,
and he's just down from me, isn't he, Matt? So it's warm.
It is cold at the moment, though.
I think we should all move to Florida. I think that's the best place. Yeah,
that's just what we're moving.
See John and Steve-O.
Yeah, good old Steve-O. He's a lovely bloke, isn't he, Steve-O?
Okay. Oh, they gave me a refund. Oh, good. Yeah. That's good.
Home Alone set that he
it was the house. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great set as well. That
yeah. Pricey. I know that. Yeah, he's a nice one though.
Yeah. Oh, what's that saying? Hi, Matt's collection. Oh, it's Peter. Evening, Peter.
Yeah, Pete.
So reviews. I love it. Oh, you love it. Thanks. Well, it wasn't hard, was it? It wasn't that hard. All the names we were getting shoved at us last Friday, and he just changed the letter after that. We could have just done that in the first place.
We sat there behind the scenes after it. We just went, should we just call it CSR?
Yeah, I think Tim put it up. Just call it Zero Shabby Reviews, and it's like, yeah, well, we're not worried about it. So
that'll do.
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah. Jippo. Oh, Jippo. Yeah, he's down the docks. He's down the docks, Jippo. He's down the docks. Don't worry about him.
He said.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, his computer's broke at the moment. His computer's broke. Technical issues. So, yeah. Sorry about that. So, yeah. We're gonna try and find. Oh, chat's very funny tonight. I hope we're coming out all right. We're not lagging or anything. It's very weird. Chat seems to be jumping around.
Looks fine on my end. Looks fine.
Yeah.
We haven't got that dodgy thing we had a couple of weeks ago. Do you remember that spinning thing that won't come off?
Yeah, that was you hosting it, wasn't it? Yeah, it wouldn't go, would it? Yeah. Feel the force. Trying to look at his picture there. That's a bit. Yeah. It's Leia. Oh, it's Princess Leia, is it? Yeah, Princess Leia. Yeah.
I can't really see my.
I wonder what it was then. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Connor's sharing again. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. Stu's. Yeah. Don't forget, Stu's doing a 24-hour charity stream.
Yeah.
Are you getting involved, Luke? Are you getting involved in it?
I am. Yeah, I've spoken to him.
Yeah, I think he's messaged me and Tez. I don't know. We'll see if Tez gets his computer fixed. But yeah, I'll be hopefully doing it.
Yeah, he's got a bit of time. It's not so much, I don't think, is it?
No, not much. Yeah.
So yeah. No, I've spoken to Stu though. Yeah, I'm going to get involved.
Oh, is that what's he saying there? Oh, did you ever get Admiral Ozzel's autograph? All right. He's not alive.
No,
he's not alive anymore, is he?
I don't actually think. Yeah, no, this is a Grange Hill reference, isn't it? Of course.
Oh yeah, it's a Grange Hill. Yeah.
I was about to go. Oh no, yeah. Suddenly clicked.
Well, Bill's home now going.
Like that. He's in the chat now, and he got him. Got him.
Got it.
You're gonna have to get up early in the morning, Phil the Force. You're gonna have to get up a lot earlier. You know what I mean?
Well, Stu's at work at the moment. Oh, we're thinking of Stu. Yeah, I'm a bit behind in the chat, actually. I apologise, everyone. But yeah, I'm surprised I have 317 subs.
You got a good channel, buddy. You got a good channel.
Yeah. We all had 317 subs at one point. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
That was great. You'll get there. Don't worry. Yeah. Bloody hell, what's happened to Tez? I don't know. We don't know. He just. Yeah.
Hi, Delvian.
Hi, Delvian. Good evening, Delvian. All right, in the chat. I can't start. I'm busy. Yeah, get back to work, Stu. Get back to work. Yeah.
Working at 8:30 at night, bloody hell.
I saw. Oh, he saw Tez the Mill Bay Docks. Yeah, on the Mill Bay. Yeah. He's driving. Yeah, dodgy Mill Bay Docks. Yeah.
Mill Bay Docks.
It's in Plymouth. Yeah, it's well known. Yeah, well known. Yeah. I do it. Thanks. Yeah. Poor old Tez.
It's funny you should say that about game. I saw Dark Lycan. He got the Mortar Trooper helmet for 45 quid.
45 quid, yeah.
Yeah,
but wasn't it game that had the Ghostbusters Classics for like $4.99 at one point?
Yeah, they're going mad. They've just put up a couple of the Andor figures up as well. They put the Imperial Officer and Black Series and the Andor when he does the bank job in the Imperial. Yeah, about $14.99. I'm like, just keep an eye.
I think the nearest game to me, it's not too far away, but
mine's rubbish.
So, is it?
They closed all mine down around here. They closed them all down. I think there's I went into is it JJB Sports, isn't it? They put them in. That's where they've got them in.
Oh, really? Yeah. We've got one about half an hour down the road from me, but I never really get there.
No, I went in.
Going CEX. I remember that place.
Yeah, that's still going strong. Yeah, that's still going strong.
CEX. Yeah. I popped in today. Have a quick look. Yeah, but all the games are gone. I think there's like one in. I went to the one that's inside this sports thing, and it's like it's nothing. It's just you're like, oh, Everyone's going all these great bargains and deals, and I was like, no, nothing in mind.
Yeah, well, it's like when you go on social media at the moment, everyone's picking up them party wagons, aren't they, from B&M for £20? But there's so many people saying, I've checked 6 and there isn't any. You know, they keep popping up sporadically in mine, but one here, one there.
I've been looking for everyone. I know you're after one, aren't you, Luke? So
I've got one.
You got one.
Well,
you got one.
But I've got 2 for other people now as well, because they just keep popping up one at a time.
Yeah.
But I'll check and there's nothing. Check and there's nothing. Then you go back after maybe 3 weeks. They've got one. Christian wants one. Yeah. Christian wants one.
Yeah.
But I managed to get one. Yeah, just before Christmas.
Even if you're not a turtle fan, it's such a cool thing to collect, vehicle-wise, isn't it?
It's nice at that price.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah.
I know they've released all the figures again, haven't they? Have they got these new ones with the ones where the back opens out and you can put the weapons?
You can stow them away. Well, I think they fold up into the shell, don't they? I think the actual turtles, you can fold their arms back underneath the shell, so they just look like they're in a shell.
All right, okay.
I think you open the back up and the legs and arms fold in and their head and everything. So then you shut the shell and they're inside the shell. Yeah.
All right, okay. And I think when you've unfolded it, you can just put like the weapons in it, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. But I saw on Facebook today that they're not even certain that they'll hit the UK, so I don't know whether they will or not.
Yeah. What's the other line of figures that never made it here? I'm trying to think what ones didn't make it here. They tried to. No, I can't think what it is now. But I see. I saw Dave Toy Polloy made a great comment this week about the Dungeons and Dragons figures. Did you see? Have you seen that?
What did he say?
He put a big thing out on Twitter. Hasbro, send me all your broken Dungeons and Dragons figures. I'll fix them. I'll fix them free.
I did see that. Yeah.
No, I've been watching all the. With me being a Multi Origins collector, I've been watching all the thing with Spectre Creative. Do you know what I mean? Saying that it's ending in April, and then everyone's saying,
he's been getting a lot of grief, hasn't he? Yeah.
And then I watched his other video when he turned around and said, "Oh no, listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Let's all get on." I thought, come on, mate, you don't make a video like that without.
You see, I mean, again, I'm not, I get a bit of Multi Origins here and there, Shabby. I know you and Lucy are super dedicated to it, but what I couldn't get my head around was how can it finish? Because did you say Mattel don't own the licensing anymore or something?
No,
it's a Mattel product. How can Mattel lose their own product?
Exactly.
They sold it. I think they sold it to some other company because Mattel at one point was struggling, weren't they? I thought they sold it to someone else.
I think Universal got the rights to She-Ra, but the She-Ra on Netflix and all that sort of stuff. I'm not sure about the vintage one and the movie. So that's why when Origins wanted to make them and Classics wanted to make the actual movie He-Man and stuff, they had to wait to get the licenses for that and so forth. For him to turn around and say, the way I work it out is unless a company, Mattel themselves, come out and say something, then it's still going. Remember, we just ordered that Eternia playset that's 2024.
Yeah, and the Snake Mountain's coming out soon. Yeah.
End of the year. So, we got all those Snake Men still to come. And then when me and Lucy did that video, you'll know, you lads, because you've got Multi Origins yourselves. On the back of the card, you see all the Easter eggs. Well, they're not gonna, And it's good. Listen, I sat there and on these Mattel creations for Frogmonger, for Greaselaw, and all that, and something that sells out within 10 minutes to an hour, it's not going anywhere. Do you know what I mean? So
Well, I'm not as dedicated to the line as you are, Shabby, but I'm well looking forward to getting Snake Mountain. I think that'd be great. I'm looking forward to that.
The thing about it, lads our age, whether you collect this or not, the nostalgia's right there. Do you know what I mean? We love this sort of stuff. Yeah. So I've just never been one of those fellas. If I don't see the point in making a video unless you definitely 100% know, because you are going to get this content. It's like us on ZSR now turning around and saying Black Series is over. When's it over, Shabby? It's over middle of February. So everyone's going to hold me to that and say, well, hang on, well, Shabby said, and then if it doesn't come true, you're just gonna, and I just thought it's like what Matt said. It's just a clickbait thing, isn't it? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Oh, so Biker's there. He's doing a restoring a panther. Nice.
Oh, wow.
Oh. Oi. Yeah, I'm way behind here. Sorry, everyone. Look at this. But then it's always the same when I'm behind. I read all the stuff because I'm like Taz, just bung it up because it could be anything.
That's one of them. Well done, Matt.
Yeah, he just bungs it up. Just stick it all up.
Old Peasy, old plastic. Oh man, he made my day last week. So he's in Alaska, as you know, and he's sat there and he's got his hoodie on, and on his hoodie he says "What the France" straight across his hoodie. I loved it. Brilliant.
Oh, he's talking about Revenge of the Fallen. I think Aliens built that. He's talking about the moon again. It's going back to the moon. Well behind. Well behind. Rolando.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Oh, it's his birthday. Happy birthday. Yeah. You'll say that. No. You won't get me saying anything about that. No, that's just silly. That's just getting silly now. That's just silly. So.
But there's loads of people that believe it, don't there?
There's aliens in pyramids, but that's not silly.
No, you can see them. You know they're there. We can see the. Well, we can't see them from here, but I've seen. Yeah.
You've seen aliens in pyramids.
No, but no, I'm just saying. I know the pyramids exist, and they're saying that the Earth's flat. We've seen. Yeah. I'm not being out into space, but I'm just saying, it's a bit obvious it's round and orbed, isn't it? So
you should.
What we get.
Listen, I think you've talked us all into it. You should start this second channel. You've talked
all
us
right.
all.
Okay. All right. I might get about 10, 12 subscribers. Yeah. You know me. I'll do it for a joke, and I'll have to put up pyramid videos.
You get swamped.
Yeah,
honestly, that kind of channel, I bet it would get swamped.
I'll have to get on these talk shows with my hair. Well, I've got no hair. I'll have to get one of those crazy, sticking out, and I'll have to get John. John will be good because John sounds like that scientist, doesn't it? What's the one with the fast show on there? But John's usually got a crazy hat on. Anyway, he's usually got his fish hat on, or his what's the other one?
Flamingo one.
Pink flamingo. There we go. He'd be perfect. Evening.
Oh, he's coming on it in about 20 minutes.
He should be here about 9 o'clock, hopefully. Yeah. We better have got the time right because me and John were talking. I've been talking to John for about a year trying to get John on. So it's if I cock it up now, I'll just that'll be it.
Hi, Kenny.
Hi, Kenny. Yeah, I can't. I'm just hoping John's going to pop up down the bottom here.
Are you joking, Biker? It's been like that for 2 years.
Yeah, this is a crazy show. Yeah. Luke, Shabby, Matt. Oh, Andy's here.
Hey, all right, Andy.
Yeah. Sorry, that was only about 20 minutes ago. Andy said that. I'm so sorry. The chat's going. That's all right. At least we've got loads on here in the chat.
Oh, look, I can't take this call right now. Look, I can't take it.
Who is that?
APD.
Oh no, Nick.
I told you, Shabby rings me every day.
Nick, he's busy. You should be watching this, Nick. Come on. Yeah. If you want to answer, you want to ask him something, Nick, just put it in the. Yeah.
No, he's got a thing with
Oh, he's analog in tonight, isn't he?
He's
going up. He's going up in the world now. He's gone from us to analog. It's gone, isn't he? Stratosphere. Yeah.
Off he goes.
Yeah, we'll message him. Look, leave me alone.
Yeah. Stop harassing me. He wants to know you're going to watch him at. Is it 11 o'clock tonight? Ooh, it's a bit my bedtime. That. Yeah.
Don't ask Des. Do not ask that question.
Yeah.
I'll speak to you, Echo.
But you wish you hadn't said anything, Des.
At the moment as well.
Yeah. Oh.
I couldn't believe how much you said your gas bill was. Wow. I mean, we hear about it over here, prices over there in the UK, but now you've said that.
And it's going up again in April. It's going up again in April.
Yeah. Well, it's the mortgage rates that kills me because mine's not fixed. I wish we were talking about stuff like this, but mine's not fixed. So it's just going like that. So that's the scary bit. So,
there you go. Look, get to Detty's comment. Look. I've had calls from APD all day today.
I like this. What's he said? Speaking of conspiracy theories, what about Toy Guru? Oh, we saw what he said about him.
Yeah,
we don't. Yeah, he's not. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of him. So after what?
The thing to me, no one used to work for him, but that was a long time ago, and. He just comes across like there's a chip on his shoulder about it. Do you know what I mean? He's like they're doing it without him. If Listen.
Yeah, I just didn't like the way he was when Michael was on that show with him, and he was saying, people that have got like 25 years collecting experience have got some idea of what they know they're talking about, haven't they? And he was sort of saying, "Nah, you just got you don't know what you're talking about." And I'm like, well, I think us collectors have got a slight,
collectors keep each other in the loop and whatever. We know what what's coming out and what's what, and Exactly. Both. David.
Right. Yeah. I'm keeping an eye on the chat on the side. Can I just say?
Yeah.
I think Tim from Bosks has just come in and asked if I'm going skiing. Right. You'll get to that comment in a minute. Now, can I just ask? Is no one else in the UK like regulating their heating? Is it just us? I'm confused by the fact that I've got my hat on. It's bloody freezing.
Luke, you should have put some ice. You should have put some icicles on your goatee or something.
Is it just me that's worried about their heating? Is everyone else just got theirs blazing?
Luke, I have got my heating on actually. Mine goes on to about. I think it's on to about 9. I think.
That must be just some tight northerner.
Reminds me of that thing. Do you not remember the Royal Family when he goes, "Come on, Bob, put your coat on"? She goes, "Oh, you're taking me out," and he goes, "No, I'm turning the electric fire off."
There's the Royals in it. Is that the Royals?
I'm buzzing about going to Echo in a fortnight because I'll be warm all for 2 days.
Oh, yeah, we'll come home. Oh, I don't want to go home. Yeah. They're striking on the Friday, aren't they, Luke? Are you a little bit? Are they striking on the Friday? Aren't they striking on the Friday? I'm not sure. The
trains?
Yeah. Are they? I'm not sure.
No, I think Arside said it because Arside said he might not be able to make Echo because he don't drive, does he, Arside? So he.
No, you're going.
Someone bought my ticket only last week, and he said no, there's no strikes planned. And you have to give you 14 days before.
You're coming down. Are you coming down on a Saturday though, aren't you? It's a Saturday.
Friday.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You're joking. No, I haven't got my car either.
I know it's definite, but I'm sure it come up saying they were gonna if they don't get their 9% or something, they're
talk to our side, Luke, at our side. Yeah, because he's been talking about it all week. He knows about it. So
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's always the same one, isn't it? It's okay. It's always
he got his book. Awesome. How cool is that?
Good. Yeah, I don't want to put a bummer down on it. I thought you would.
Well, no, because I spoke to him. I only got my train tickets not even a week ago. And I said to the guy then, "There's no more strikes planned, is there?" And he was like, "No, you're fine. And even if there is, you have to give us 2 weeks' notice. You'll be fine." So that.
Well, that's what they're saying for February. That's what the dates that was in the news yesterday. So yeah, I'd check. Yeah, if Size knows about it as well. So yeah.
If it happens to me twice in a
it's
row,
it's ruin it, isn't it? It's just
and I said to Si, look, if it happens a second time, I'll just get in my car and I'll drive it. I mean, I always get stressed out driving places that I'm not familiar with, but I haven't even got my car at the moment. So.
Oh well, Jesus. If you and Si start walking now, you'll get there. You know what I mean?
I've sent my D&D.
Fuming if it happens a second time.
Oh, he sent his D&D figures back. Oh dear.
How bad are they? Because I know there's a lot of people saying they're broken and so. What's breaking on them? Is it the arm? I don't know what's breaking on them.
Oh, they're just like the heads are coming off, and so arms are coming off. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think they should have done them with a bubble, so a lot of people would have kept them on the cards, wouldn't they? So better, just display. So
you see, this is where what Si does comes into play, because Si doesn't book the hotel. I think he books it in a way that he can pay for it when he gets there. Yeah, he books it and then pays. I've already paid for mine, and it's non-refundable, so I'll lose my hotel money as well.
You've done it, lost it. Didn't Nick grab your room last time though? Didn't he? Did he borrow it? He took the room off you?
Well, we were meant to be sharing a room anyway. So I just contributed to the room. So obviously, I lost that as well. Yeah. I mean, that weren't so bad because we split the room 3 ways, so that didn't matter. But this one, I've paid for it on my own. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be fuming.
Yeah, you'll be fuming. Well, you'd be down there wanting your ticket back, wouldn't you? So money back. Yeah.
Wait till you see what Scuba Pete got me yesterday. Couldn't believe it. I was shocked, right? So he FaceTimed me and he sat in his car with his big grin. And he's picked out loads of... But I'm going to make a video of it. I couldn't believe what he got me yesterday, and I was like, no way. So, wow.
Ooh, video.
Yeah.
Well, he says the mad. I picked up Tyrion storage shell, Michelangelo at Target.
$11.99. It's a steal. What's that? Like £8?
Yeah.
£9 quid.
About $8, yeah, at the moment. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Aren't they doing the big ones as well? I've heard they're doing like the ones that are just like they're calling them the shampoo ones, don't they? The big turtles. Aren't they doing those in America?
I don't know. I'm intrigued to see what McFarlane does because McFarlane's just got the license as well, and he's bringing his out, but he's doing movie line. So I'll be intrigued to see what they look like.
I think they're 12-inch ones. 12-inch ones they brought out. They were not. They're like 5p away. They don't. Yeah.
Dino just put in the comment there about the turtles that he like you said, Matt, he thinks it's only the weapons that go in the shell. He thinks the ones where the arms and legs go into different lines. So maybe see.
Right. Right then. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure I saw the picture with them putting like the weapons inside the shell. Yeah. You could put your size, and you could put like a pizza and something else. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, fractured fair evening.
Hi, pal.
How you doing? So has anyone got anything, any pickups at all this week they want to show off? Anything? So
no.
Shabby,
I got the cover.
Shabby's got boxes, but he's always getting boxes. He's always
usual
getting
Mike, all the way from Australia.
Look at that, usual Mike.
Wow. Big time.
Yeah.
Shabby's big time. No, I got something small last week. Only where is it? It was a bit of a bargain on eBay, and I've been doing trades because money's tight. So I've been doing trades.
Yeah.
So I did get this last week, which was a nice little pickup on eBay.
Oh,
it's like an accessory pack for Centurions.
You're going to take them out, or they stay?
I am not taking them out. They're going to stop like that. But I got that for 12 quid. So I thought that was pretty good. And then I did a trade. Well, I did a trade to get. I got this figure. Good old VTR Dave sent me this, but I managed to complete him. If bits are falling off him, 1 minute. I managed to complete this guy.
Nice.
So I just got the figure, but did the trades for all the attachments. So he's pretty good. He's complete now. And then same again. I had the bare figure, but I did a trade for the outfit or the attachments, and I got completed that guy.
Oh, nice.
So good old Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck, yeah.
but other than that, no.
The parts for that are they hard to get hold of?
They're not necessarily hard to get hold of, Shabby, but man, are they dear? They're expensive.
Really?
Well, I mean, look, I actually managed to get all these bits so there's 7 individually. There's 7 pieces to complete his attachments. I managed to get them all for a straight up trade with some vintage Star Wars figures. There was a guy that's just got back into collecting Star Wars, and he said, I'll trade you 6 or 7 figures. I haven't bothered which they are, and I'll send you the armor. So I got all that for 6 or 7 Star Wars figures. There was a guy on eBay trying to sell me just the fin, just that chest fin, for 30 quid, and he was telling me that was
what? Oh, crikey, that's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah. But Wild Weasel, Matt, I wouldn't mind getting Wild Weasel for Jake Rockwell. 100 quid.
Yeah.
Just for the.
Just without. Is it complete?
I think it's complete. Yeah, but still. And the thing is, you can only display them with one outfit at a time. So
yeah. That's the one. It's weird. That's the only one I really like, the vehicle. But you don't hardly see the figure inside because
he's inside it, isn't he?
Yeah. But he's got those always the foot pegs can go missing on it and stuff, which is I just remember
get that comment off. Yeah, get that comment.
Yeah, I've got it. Yeah. Yeah.
And here's something. If Scooby's in the chat now, so he showed me something yesterday, which was Palatoy. Right, and if I've got it wrong, Scooby, you can just write in the chat with it. But it was Commander Power. Have you ever heard of Commander Power? Palatoy.
Captain Power. I've heard Captain Power.
Yeah.
Scooby's in the chat now, so it's either Captain or Commander. But he showed me this thing, and I'd never heard, and it looked awesome. But I'd never heard of that line.
I've heard of Captain Power, not Commander Power.
Captain Power, was it?
Yeah, Captain Power was more like. It was a guy in chrome, wasn't it? Was it with chrome and the guns?
Yeah, kind of, I think.
Was it? I think it was. Didn't they do an infrared guns with it or something? Didn't they do something like you could wear a costume?
In fact, did Leicester Vintage sell something Captain Power today?
I can't remember. Oh, John is here. I can see you down there, John. I can see you.
I don't think it was Captain Power. I've got to be honest, because I've heard of Captain Power. He showed me this yesterday. So it's from Palatoy, and it was still on the card, and it was accessories or something. And he said a name, and I thought, wow, I'll ask the lads tomorrow on ZSR. So, right, okay. Well, as soon as he messages.
I've just seen the Luke. Are you going skiing?
Commander Power. There you go. Commander Power. Yeah. No. I've never heard of it from Palatoy. So I thought, wow, it's Commander Power.
Oh, Action Pop Dad. He's busy, Luke. Nick, he's busy. Yeah, sorry.
I'm here, Nick.
He's here. He's standing in for Tez because Tez has done the docs. So yeah. So that's what's he put there? Oh, that's a bit. Luke's a large. Oh, that's a bit, isn't it? That's a bit for scuba, isn't it? Crikey. Yeah. Right. All right. Our guest is here.
Just checking the flowers open.
Everyone's in the chat saying, "Where is he? Where is he? He was
I know that full-on Carlos. He's gutted, isn't he? He's like
that. I know. We came to see you lot. We didn't come here to see you lot.
I didn't come to see you three. I come to see this.
Talking about pyramids and blooming aliens and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
So
we're going to pay if your train's cancelled.
Yeah. Right, we're going to get John on. So ready, John? Hope you're ready. So here he is. He's looking good. Hello,
gentlemen. How are you?
Wow.
Good.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you brilliantly.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Just to let you know, Tez is usually here. Luke is standing in for Tez tonight. I don't know if you've seen, but
hey, Luke. I've seen you a few times. Yeah. How are you?
Yeah.
Shabby. How are you, man?
Oh, it's great. We've got John on for how long now, Matt? About a year.
Oh yeah, me and John have been chatting for about a year.
It's my fault. It's not y'all's fault. It's my fault. I'm usually terrible about being on for live streams, and usually when you guys are on, I'm either volunteering or doing something. So Fridays are usually tough, but this is perfect because my son is sick and I'm sick, so I'm here with you guys.
Hope you're all right. Hope you're okay.
I'm fine. It's just a little
serious. Sick. All right. Okay. Well, try not.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming on.
You look like you were leaning back there, Matt, to avoid getting whatever John's got.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
I think you're safe. Safe, mate.
My wife, hey, Luke, my wife does that every day, so it's okay.
So, John, for anyone that doesn't, hasn't been on your brilliant channel, just give us a quick sort of to all the people that have never seen you, or like, just give us a quick rundown of your channel and what you'd like doing. So, if you don't mind.
Well, absolutely, and again, thank you guys for having me on. I don't know why anyone wants to talk to me, but I appreciate the opportunity to be on with you guys. It's really enjoyable. I don't comment a lot, but I do watch you guys a lot. And
thank you. Yeah.
So for those that don't know me, I mean, my quick, I'll just give you a quick background. Most people who watch my channel know this already, but I was a really, really bad alcoholic for a number of years, and I finally got sober back in 2016. And I started watching the blacked out Ewoks on YouTube. You guys know. And I started watching his stuff. I was like, wow, I really like his videos. And at that time, I had to fill the gap. I was drinking 8 or 10 or 12 hours a day, and I had to find something to do with my time. And so now that I wasn't drinking, so I said, well, I've got graded stuff, I've got ungraded stuff. And so I started just filming very awkward, very distilted, disjointed videos. And, I just kind of kept at it. And most people just watch my channel because they like to see what prices are like on eBay. And that's my bread and butter. People tend to like me covering the vintage collection or vintage Kenner or comic books or whatever it is. And I just try to, basically, I'm an eBay looker upper. And occasionally I show you stuff that I get back from the grading companies and in my own collection and things like that. So.
I guess I don't know. It's quite hard to review graded stuff, isn't it? Because you can't get it out and look at it really. Well, in a way you can see it, but you can't get it out and play with it, can you? Graded stuff. So I bet it's a little bit tricky but then a lot of us review box stuff, don't we? So I mean, you can't really.
I mean, most of my stuff is slabbed in carbonite, so it's just looking at a bunch of stupid acrylic boxes. That's really all my collection is.
Yeah. Do you have anything? Do you have anything loose at all, or is it all vac sealed?
No, yeah, I do. I have some like loose vintage Star Wars vehicles hanging from the ceiling and stuff like that, and I've got this one really awkward slanted wall that I could never figure out what to do with. It's gigantic. I mean, it's huge. So I took a lot of 25th anniversary G.I. Joes and put them in star cases and thumbtacked them up on the wall just for decoration, which my wife really liked, by the way. She really loves that. But other than that, really, my collection is almost, I'd say 90 to 95% UKG, CAS, or AFA graded.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And what was your first, what was the first thing you got graded then? What sort of got you into sort of, was it BOE? I guess BOE, sort of forced you into it, did he?
Yeah, I mean, he was a really bad influence. My wallet cries just thinking about his YouTube channel. But I had a lot of loose graded figures and some mint on card graded stuff, and then I just started sending stuff in. At the time, I was collecting vintage Hasbro G.I. Joes also, and Takara G.I. Joes, and so my very first video, I think I'm like, let's guess the grades on what I'm going to get back on these G.I. Joes and Star Wars figures, and and it was very awkward. I didn't know what I was doing, and it's still up on the channel just for people that want to laugh. They can go back and look at my very first video and say, "Wow, this guy's a loser." But I like the grading process. I like sending weird crap in and just giving new things a try. I collect bootlegs and kind of all over the map.
Well, I've always thought there is kind of like, you've got the loose collectors, you've got the carded collectors, and you've got the graded collectors. You've got sort of three different types of collecting, but then some of us sort of cover all of it, and some of us stick to sort of one thing really, don't we? So do you remember the first thing you got graded, the actual very first figure? Do you know?
I remember that the first batch I sent to AFA was like some Takara Japanese G.I. Joes, mint on card, a few Hasbro G.I. Joes, a few, I believe it was some vintage Kenner mint on card, stuff like that. I just wanted to try it out. I had never done it before, and it kind of snowballed from there. And I used to send in Black Series. I mean, I had at one point I had 300 graded Black Series. It was just so stupid. So I had to pare it down. So I collect, vintage collection and Kenner now, and some bootlegs, comics, things like that. But me paring down is still not pared down enough, is what my wife would argue. But grading's not for everybody. I'm not like one of these pro grading guys. There's some people that are staunchly anti-grading, and that's fine. I mean, we all collect differently. I enjoyed the process.
Do you get any grief from not from people that don't agree with it? Do you ever get any kind of you shouldn't be, because you think people should do what they want to do with their collection, shouldn't they? Really, but I guess you still get the odd person that doesn't believe in it. So
I do, yeah. There's a lot of haters, and that's okay. I mean, I don't mind if they hate my channel. I hate my channel sometimes. So,
the thing is, I mean. Sorry, Shabby. Go ahead.
No. You go ahead, my friend. You go ahead.
I was just going to say. I mean, I don't have anything graded in my collection, and I go back and forth with it. I don't know huge amounts about it, but I think there's a few things that rattle around in my mind when I think about grading. Is the first one is I'm not entirely. If I was to send a figure off, and let's just say it comes back 85%, I'm not totally. I can't convince myself that if I smashed it open and sent it back, it wouldn't come back with a different grade. That's one thing that makes me think. So is it all purely on who's grading it? Not necessarily. You get an 85, that's definitive, because it could be, if somebody else did it, it could be an 80. So that's one thing that always runs around in my mind. The second thing is, I'm really reluctant to send anything off, because I think David Stevens just put in the chat, he sent something off on the 27th of June and he still hasn't got it back. I don't want to let anything out of my collection for 7 months. I think you'd start to think, is it even going to get done? Have they lost it? I don't know. And it's just the whole, and then you've got, and forgive me because I'm not massively into grading, so I don't want to offend anybody. But then you get something back graded, and there's people that think it quadruples the value. because someone's given it a grade and it's in a case. I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, so by all means, sort of enlighten me if I'm saying something silly there.
No, I mean, Luke, you raised some really common points that I hear from folks, and
I'm not against grading, by the way, in any way.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the points that you raise are valid. I mean, turnaround times are something that I talk about on my channel all the time, and how I think it's kind of embarrassing how long they take sometimes. I've had items be over a year to be graded, which is ridiculous. And I have tried. Now, I have tried taking, getting an item graded, cracking it out, and sending it back in. I've sent it to different companies. I have, yes, yeah. And I don't know why, but it was early on in my channel where I didn't record it. I wish I had, but I've sent 2 Minton cards, and I've sent 2 vintage Kenner figures where I cracked them open. Well, actually, 3 vintage Kenner figures where I cracked them open, and then resent them in. And I went across grading companies, CAS and AFA, and vice versa. And every single time, every one of them has come back exactly the same grade. So, but I've heard other cases, like I know Toy Polloi did one where he sent in like the Skeletor. So, it is a subjective thing, and it's not for everybody. I know that, and there's definitely negatives associated with the industry that I think are valid. And but I just enjoy the process of it. It's fun.
Yeah, I have nothing against it. It's just things that always rattle around in my mind. Yeah.
I find it fascinating. What I wanted to ask you, and I've always thought this, watching your channel and seeing your great stuff. Is it harder for you to source stuff? Because are you looking for something that's as mint as possible for you to send it off grading? So in other words, say for example, I was looking for a vintage Star Wars figure, and that it comes and it's a little bit painted there, but are you looking for a certain thing that's as immaculate as possible, John?
That's a great question, Mark. It just depends on the item. I mean, sometimes like with my vintage Polish or Mexican or Hungarian bootlegs, the grade almost doesn't matter on a lot of those. So I have a lot of low grade ones because it's just about authenticating it and letting people know, hey, this is not a modern reproduction of a 1980s Mexican bootleg. They're all over eBay, right? There's like hundreds of them. So I like to send those in to get it validated as an 1980s or 90s bootleg. So, and the grades don't matter as much as just the authentication. Or if it's like a Spanish figure, like a Spanish POC or PBP figure, where we know that the paint manufacturing process on those figures was not the same skill level as like the Hong Kong or Taiwan or whatever figures, I might let some stuff go on those. But like I got some early Spanish POC, Luke X-Wing and Han Solo, where I knew that the grades wouldn't be that high, but it's really hard to get high grades on those because the paint just it bubbles and it falls off, and they miss stuff, they overspray stuff. But for standard Kenner items, even like fairly desirable ones like blue snags and things like that. I mean, you got to remember, during Kenner's heyday, they were producing 13 to 15 million figures a year. I mean, there's probably hundreds of thousands of collections out there sitting in closets that are all 12 backs just in boxes, and like the Morphe's. Morphe's auction that's coming up. I mean, they were all just sitting in hundreds of them, just sitting in boxes. I guarantee you there's hundreds more like that out there. And so it just depends on the item. But I don't know. I've gotten a little bit less picky with age because I maybe don't, I let things slide a little bit more than I used to.
Yeah, I mean, that's the part. I always find that fascinating because I'm in Luke's camp. I have a vintage stuff and vintage Star Wars behind me, but I've never once thought, oh, I've got to get that graded. But then I thought, well, if I did get it graded, do I have to go out and source one that's, say for example, my best in hand, but I want one that's immaculate because I want that one graded. Do you see what I mean? So I wonder if it was just like, it must be a bit more pricey that to do as well, though. I mean, if you're sourcing for something that's more mint, it's going to be a lot more money, isn't it, basically, to get hold of?
Yeah, and what I've found though is that it makes yes, there's a higher cost associated with finding the near mint plus condition items, and yes, there's a grading cost associated with it. But I do feel like the authentication process, there's certain. I'm not saying every collector. It doesn't work for every collector, but it does make resale really easy for me. Like if I have like a big purchase, like I just bought like 5 Minton cards at Hakes, right? That was a big boy purchase for me, and so I had to fund that. And so I pulled off a few, like if I had doubles or triples or sometimes 5 of the same item in my collection, I I can post it on like the Facebook group I run or that at least admin, and I sold like 6 items in 30 minutes because it's here's the label, here's the grade. There's no guessing involved. It's real. It's not repro, and it's gone. And it's just like with classic cars or comic books or anything else where people are going to be willing to pay up for better condition. And I kind of treat action figures as the same kind of asset class as those kind of collectibles. And there's always going to be a demand at the upper end of the market where they are willing to pay a premium for it. And maybe that market falls off if we all go into a rat economy here this year. But I've just found that it makes everything very, very liquid. And when I pass, I've talked about this on my channel.
Yeah.
When I'm worm food, my wife and her new boyfriend, if they want to fund an Italian vacation, they can just take all this crap behind me, all these stupid plastic dolls behind me, and they can have it sold immediately because they're all graded and authenticated, and it's going to be really easy to know what the value is. And that's probably what's going to happen, to be honest with you.
You've just touched on something there, John, that was my next question, because I saw, and I was going to ask this because actually, I mean, I'm not part of very many Star Wars groups on Facebook now for various reasons we won't get into, but I saw an argument on there between two guys that were arguing over grading doesn't guarantee authentic. They were arguing over that, saying just because it's graded, that doesn't absolutely guarantee authenticity. So
no, it doesn't.
Would you argue against that? Oh no, you wouldn't, right?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't argue against that because I've found in my own collection, I've seen, or that I've bought already graded. I've seen on Facebook and on eBay items that are either mislabeled or they have the wrong accessories, or they're if you got a Lily Letty made in Mexico that's paired with Kenner accessories. I've seen reproduction sabers that passed authenticity. Obviously, we had the Toy Tony scandal.
Toy Tonys,
yeah. So there's lots of negatives. All the grading companies, every single one of them, all the big three, UKG, CAS, AFA, they all make mistakes. And it does not guarantee anything. It does help. It does help at least getting another set of eyes. But
a better chance. But yeah, not an absolute guarantee. I mean, there's a couple of bits in my collection I'd like to get graded, but just the idea of losing it for sort of 7 8 months.
Some of the stuff you've got, I'm surprised you haven't, to be honest.
I was talking to Tim only maybe a few months ago now about a couple of mask figures that UKG, they'll grade mask figures. And they sort of do them, and obviously they put them in a lovely case with you get your little mask next to it. And I just looked and thought, I've got a couple of figures that are fresh out of baggies. I think I'd like to get them graded, but 7 8 months turnaround time, I kind of just don't want to lose them for that amount of time. I know it sounds weird, but yes, I've not done it yet, but it is something that I'm toying with. Yeah.
Well, it's funny you talk about lost items. There's a pretty well-known collector within Star Wars named Jeff Jacob, and he's got probably, if not the best vintage Star Wars collection. It's certainly in the top 3. And he sent about $50,000 US worth of mint on card Lily Lettys to AFA, and they mysteriously disappeared in the FedEx shipping. And lo and behold, maybe 6 months later, one of them turned up on eBay Japan, and it was exactly his item. And he never got his money back. FedEx did not pay out that insurance payment. So I've had items lost, not many, but 1 or 2 because of USPS, the Postal Service, and their stupidity. But considering how much stuff I send in annually, to only have 1 or 2 losses, it's pretty good. And quite honestly, none of my stuff is near the values of that kind of stuff. So even if I did lose the vast majority of what I've sent in, it wouldn't be that painful. But if you got $50,000 of items up, I guarantee you that I'm taking an airplane flight and bringing it and hand delivering it versus sitting about it.
Or driving there, isn't it? Driving there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, well, say Andy, our friend Andy, didn't he? Shabby, he's lost something recently, which is
I mean, he sent it off. And, well, I hope he doesn't mind. I think people know. So he sent off a telescoping Luke and a vinyl Cape Jawa, and he hasn't got them back, and they've sent them. So fingers crossed, our Andy gets them back. But I feel for him, I really do. And it's funny when you talk about the little Eddie stuff, because Usual Mike put it was a battered card back. I couldn't believe the state of it. It was Princess Leia, but it was a little Eddie one. So we were watching on eBay, and I bid $17 for Mike, and it went for over $90. And I thought, wow, man! So I can imagine how much this guy's stuff was if it was all mint. People were spending that much money on a creased up card back, you know. So I thought, wow, man.
Shabby, I saw that auction that you're talking about, and I actually talked about it on my channel that's coming up, and I've got some of those displayed with the figures behind me. And yeah, those Lily Letty card backs, I mean, just the card backs for like the Boba Fett Lily Letty, I mean, that can be, I mean, you're talking $2,000 just for the card back on that one. I've seen that sell regularly. So
it's crazy. We're talking about you because this is why I find your channel very informative.
He's going to get some out and show us.
Yeah, I got one right here. I'll pull it up for you.
Yeah, I've never really seen a Lily Lady sort of card back really. And
So this one is this is called the negative card back for the Biker Scout. So what CAS does,
I'll make you big,
they loose grade the figure, and they only grade the figure, and then they'll put on the label displayed with the Letty card back. But what's cool about this one is that this is the negative card back. So there's positives and negative card backs, but the negative card back has all black with the figures in white. And then the positive card backs are the more standard Lily Letty card backs. Those have the background, the typical grayish brown cardboard, and then the outlines of the figures are in black. So this is the only negative card back I've got, but it looks great with the Biker Scout there.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. And
so that's one way. There's lots of ways like that. You know, if you got really rare foreign stuff, or like some of my bootlegs, I've got like the I got a bootleg Boba Fett displayed with an original Polish bootleg card back that was unused. And so there's ways to like grade stuff or authenticate stuff that don't have to be mint on card and worth, you know, $20,000. You know, I put that together, that Lily Letty display. I probably put it together for maybe, including the grading cost, maybe $200, $250 at most. And it displays kind of like a mint on card. And a mint on card of that would be like what, $5,000, $6,000. So it's
you don't sort of hold any emotion to what you collect. Then, if you want something more, you would sell it like that. You just don't keep any.
Oh no, yeah, I've got some. I mean, I had a Q&A video recently on my channel where someone asked me, "What's your most prized possession?" And my most prized possession is worth like $15. It was a gift. It was like a Stap Droid, you know, episode 1 Stap Droid, you know, that was like $20 that he gave to me when I first got sober, and I keep that on my speaker right above my TV as a reminder. You know, I was like, hey, this is why I got sober. It's my kids and my wife, and to me, that's the most valuable thing in my collection. Everything else you can set on fire. I really don't care. I mean, I really mean that too. It's the rest of it. It doesn't mean much to me. I certainly love it. Don't get me wrong, but that's the only one that really I consider to be priceless.
Yeah. It is funny that with the card backs, Luke, because you did a video on your card backs, and I've just done one on my Palitoy Luke, not the conditioner. But it is funny how, because none of my Star Wars is on cards at all, but when Si sent me that Palitoy Return of the Jedi, the nostalgia that hits you. So I now I understand why people go out and find them mint on the cards. It is funny how you get this thing, it's just a piece of cardboard, and you're like, wow, man, I love this. You know, it's amazing.
but like what Andy's doing, Shabby, the display are great now with the cases that you can get from like GW, where you can put the card in and then display loose.
Oh yeah, that's just as good.
On my Luke Bespins, it looks great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it looks just as good in my opinion. I love the way those look.
Yeah, that's what I got. My wall up there is just wall of G. That's all GW. So
you've got more up there.
My wall's got a little bit smaller. I've sold a few, but yeah, it's still there.
All my risers are GW. The risers.
So have you got like? Could you show us some of your bootlegs at all? Like,
sure. I brought one down that I thought you'd like to see, and this is a really cool one. So you know. So Poland, during the 1980s and 1990s, obviously the Cold War was going on. So they had no access to the licensed figures. So what did they do? They started producing their own for the Polish kids, and they appeared in stores. And there's different generations of them. They started in the 1980s, maybe even the late 70s for some of the very early ones. And they produced them all the way into the 1990s, 1995 for some of the third generation ones. And what's cool is that for the after the Star Wars hype was dying, the 1990s were the dark times, and those factories were going out of business. Well, there's a lot of them that the figures were never assembled. So I've got a third generation Polish bootleg Boba Fett that still has the arms and legs on the factory sprue, still has the torso all unpainted, and so it's a really cool overstock, third generation Polish bootleg, and and they've really shut up. When I first started collecting these, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, they were kind of a side item, I guess, and I've just noticed that lately, when there's a bootleg group on Facebook, anytime somebody, one guy listed like, I don't know, maybe 50 of them, and we're talking like $15,000 worth of bootlegs, and they were gone in an hour. Every one of them was gone. I mean, it was unbelievable to watch. It was like a feeding frenzy, and they've really taken off in value, and it's pretty incredible to see the change in, especially the Polish bootlegs over the last, the last 5 years.
I guess when everyone's collected all the vintage, they've got nothing else to collect, so they jump onto that sort of.
But what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. How do you source this kind of thing? Because obviously the bootlegs, so they're not going to be as well known as Kenner or Little Eddie or Meccano. And so how do you source a bootleg figure? I find it fascinating.
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, for those who watch my channel know this story, but I was I couldn't sleep one night. I mean, I had like terrible insomnia for about 6 months, and I woke up one morning at like 2:00 in the morning, and somebody in Russia had listed a metallic green Russian Oratet bootleg Bosk, and I bought it immediately. I was like, I don't care what it costs, I'm buying it. And I found out later it's one of like 3 that exists that still exists. It was probably most likely a prototype that just made it out the door before they settled on that bright hot pink version that you probably have seen on eBay a lot. But I mean, it's just that kind of random stuff. I mean, I've had like private PM conversations with random Russian that I swear was a member of the KGB, and I was like, there's no way this item is going to get here. There's no way this item is going to get here. And sure enough, about 2 weeks later, this Russian box shows up, and it's the metallic orange, and the metallic orange is one of 3 or 4 that exists. So you just never know where you're going to find some of these items, and it's a lot of fun to try and track down. I spent hours and hours and hours trying to source that one. I mean, I went through like Rebel Scum old threads, and I would find the username, and then I would Google search the username from the Rebel Scum forum, and I somehow found him on Facebook, and I contacted him on Facebook, and the next thing you know, I got a metallic orange boss. So it's just that kind of like, I mean, I spent probably 80 to 100 hours trying to find that metallic orange Bosk, and it was just a massive search that took a long, long time. So you never know where it's going to pop up. But the internet and Facebook groups, like for bootlegs, have really made things a lot easier. Let me tell you that.
Isn't it a guy? Yeah, no, guy just on a book, a Polish book as well, on Polish bootlegs.
Yeah, I got it right here. Yeah.
Oh, he's got it. He's got the book
somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is. Here it is. I got it. Jacob Brzezinski is a he's done 2 volumes of this book, and this is the second edition, second generation, as he called it. And I know him well. I bought from him before, and it's the holy Bible for Polish bootlegs. His collection is one of the greatest in the world, and it's a great resource though for checking out the different colors, and there's so many different styles. There's static, unarticulated, there's articulated, different generations. There's all kinds of cool stuff that I got one right here. You got to see. This is awesome.
All right, here we go.
This is the
I'm making big. Here we go.
This is the deluxe. Oh, wow. I call this one the meth head Yoda, and he's got the meth head eyes, but. This is the Polish Deluxe series that were very tough to find. I think I think he said in the book there's less than, don't quote me on this, but there's less than 40 examples still left. Yeah. And so this one's incomplete. It's just the figure. It doesn't have the cane or the utility belt, but it's a high grade. It's 90% for the incomplete one. So
I love it.
So, I mean, but like anything, there must be people out there that's trying to recreate that. So there must be people out there getting a loose Yoda. I'm going to paint this green or orange arms and put it on eBay as a boot. There must be people doing that. So how do you get
all over the place? I see it every single day on eBay. Every single day, especially the Mexican bootlegs, the 1980s and 1990s Mexican bootlegs. There's a lot of people that are taking those and recasting them in modern plastics. They're even using fake packaging to look just like the 1980s packaging, and so there's a lot of that, and it's really tough to verify a lot of Mexican bootlegs unless it's in hand or I got good photos. But I mean, I just had a guy today reach out to me and say, "Hey, is this 1980s?" And I was like, "No, man, no, that was probably made 6 months ago." So once you get the hang of it and you start learning, you can spot it immediately.
Because a lot of people were stripping C3POs down, weren't they? Because some of the limbs were in different colors, and they were trying to get like we got the retro figure now that comes in all those crazy different colors. Those of the C3POs were like that, weren't they? And people were just stripping the chrome off them just to like say.
Prototype. It's a prototype. $10,000. Buy it now.
Yeah. Trying to dupe people and stuff. Yeah.
This might be a silly question, but I'm fascinated. Why Poland? Why Polish bootlegs? Is it really the most popular ones? Did they make so many of them, or because? As a person who's not into bootlegs, you always hear Polish bootlegs,
right? So, the Turkish ones, isn't it?
Yeah. There was a Turkish bootlegs. I've got 3 of those, but those are very, very pricey. Those are probably the most expensive in terms of the bootlegs, but there are some very rare Polish ones where there's like one of one still remaining. But I think a lot of it it's 3 different things, right? It's politics, which was the main factor for Poland and for Russia not having the figures. The Cold War just didn't, they couldn't sell over there because there was an embargo on selling anything licensed to Russia. There's poverty. Obviously, there were Lily Lettys, but Mexico, the vast majority of Mexico's population or South America's population could not afford the Lily Lettys. So that gave rise to a pretty thriving bootleg community in the 1980s and 1990s, just because the vast majority of the population couldn't afford a $10 or $5 Lily Letty, but they could afford a 50-cent bootleg back in the 1980s. A lot of them were given out as party favors. There's one right behind me right here. Let's see if I can get it right there. That is a squid head, that white with the red cape. This is a squid head that was commonly given out at birthday parties to kids in Mexico, and now it's very rare. It's a very rare bootleg. So those are the 2 big factors, and it was. I had a third reason why, but I can't remember now. But those were the there's Polish bootlegs, Turkish, there's Russian, Hungarian bootlegs, just all over the place, and. It's a cool side. I have too many of them now, but it's a really fun thing to at least explore and learn about.
Why do you think it's so popular now? Why do you think bootlegs is so popular? What do you think the thing is? Is it because it's just the novelty of it being a knockoff, or?
I think so. I think it's the wacky colors. A lot of them have really crazy colors, big bright blues and greens and pinks and everything. Especially the Polish. You can get like, I've got 9 graded Polish bootleg Luke X-Wings, and every single one of them is a different color. It's just the variety of them. You can build lots of cool runs with them. I think part of it is just, for me anyway, it's the history of Star Wars that you don't want to forget, because a lot of the people didn't have access to those figures, and it's just a nice reminder that, hey, we're all a worldwide community now, and there was a time where part of our worldwide community couldn't buy and play with these toys. So it's just a nice kind of slice of history for action figures in the Star Wars world in the 80s and 90s that I like to have a part of.
Yeah. So cool.
You kind of touched upon it there, Shabby. What I find interesting is, so things like bootlegs. Once upon a time, nobody would have wanted them, would they? Because no, it's fake, it's unofficial, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden they become collectible. And it's like anything. I mean, at one point, Toy Tony, if you found out you thought you had a mock and it was a Toy Tony, nobody wanted it. Get rid of it. It's not real. And they're super collectible now, aren't they?
They are now. They are now.
People want them now. Yeah. And it's weird how everything sort of goes sort of full sort of 180 almost. Yeah.
It is pretty, especially on the Toy Tonys. I see a lot of them sell on Facebook even, and it's disclosed as a Toy Tony, especially like the Palatoy Fets. I mean, those are like $2,000 again now, and it's pretty incredible to see. I don't have many Toy Tonys, but I did buy one last year for the General Mills German card back of Bosk, because I was like, when am I going to be able to get a Bosk card back with the German writing on the back? you know, and it was very affordable.
It's toy history, isn't it? Even though they're not, it's toy history, and people know why.
It's still original car back. It's still original car back kind of figure. It's just not been. So it's still worth something, isn't it? Yeah.
Well,
you see this one here.
Goes with it, isn't there? So this is a story that goes with that, you know. So when you show off your collection, you explain what this was and how it went through. So
yeah. You see this. The vintage toy rusher asks, "What is the lowest grade do you know? Has anyone's got a real low one out there? Do you know? I think anyone would admit they've got a really low one.
I've got a 40. I've got a CAS 40 on a bootleg. I've had a few of those over the years. I think that's the lowest I've ever gotten was a 40.
Oh, 40. There you go.
Do you get dead up? Because I've seen people on YouTube, John, get dead upset if they get something back and it's a low grade. They get like really angry, you know. I mean, was you upset with? Were you expecting that score or?
I think with the bootlegs, you always expect them to be fairly low, especially with Mexican bootlegs, because the paint applications and the figure quality itself is pretty poor. So I didn't really care about the grades on those. I do get kind of bent out of shape sometimes when I get like case fresh modern collector grade stuff and I send it to AFA and it comes back with an 85 and I'm like, and I look it over really carefully and I can't find anything wrong with it. But that's just the way it is sometimes. That's part of the game you sign up for. You're rolling the dice when you send stuff in, and sometimes you win, sometimes you don't, and that's kind of again what's fun about it.
Do you not take that into consideration, though, John? Because obviously with a Mexican bootleg, for example, they know themselves the paint application's not that good. Do they not take that into consideration when they're doing the grade?
No, and I don't think they should, because I can take the same bootleg. And I mean, I've got like for Greedo, for example, I've got one that's graded a 60. I've got one that's graded an 85 plus. And so it's the exact same item, but you can tell which one's better very quickly when you look at them. And it's always easier, like with the unpainted bootlegs, especially, to get higher grades, because as soon as because a lot of those were hand painted, if not all of them were hand painted for the early generation Polish bootlegs, and probably, if not all of them, for the Mexican bootlegs, a vast majority of them were. So when they're hand painted, it's just you're not going to get high grades. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. This guy's here asking, what's a UP? What's a UP? What's he asking there? Yeah,
Brazilian. Yeah, those are Brazilian licensed little kind of small figures that were like packed into like packed into like cereal or something like that. But I don't have any of those. Okay. No.
All right.
There's a gentleman I know named Adam M. who's got the literally biggest UP collection I've ever seen. He's got every color for every character. It's unbelievable.
I love this. This is so. I could listen to John Ruler for years.
I've got loads of questions.
I wish my wife would tell me that when she gets home. She's just like, just shut up. I don't care about your AFA. Blah 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 blah. Make me dinner.
Blah, 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 blah.
The Mexican bootleg and your missus is just like, get to the
I don't care, John. I don't care.
All the time. The amount of times I'll go downstairs. I'll say to Rich, I just need a word with you, and she'll go, "Is it toy or YouTube related?" And I'll go, yeah, and she'll go, make me a cup of tea.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right.
We'll show you why something, and she doesn't even take her eyes off her phone. She just goes, oh, yeah, right.
Now, one time, I'll say this. One time, we came up here. This is my movie room and collection room, and we were watching a show or something, and she just, during the movie or show, she looked around and says, this room is really awesome. And I was like, what? So that was awesome. It's only happened one time in 20 years of marriage. One time.
My wife always goes, are you playing again? It's like, no, I'm not playing. I'm dusting and rearranging. I'm just thinking. No, you're just playing. You're just playing in your room. Oh, whatever.
They always know where to be, don't in an argument, and you say something, they go, why don't you just go and play with your toys? And you think,
they'd stick the knife in, don't they? Go and play with your toys. Yeah.
So true.
Yeah. No, John, you talk about graded comics as well. Is the graded comics at the moment dropping now? Are people sort of is the value going?
It's fantastic. Yeah, the graded comic books are going through the floor right now. It's I love it. I mean, me personally, it's great because we had this big run up during COVID, obviously, and the prices were just getting out of hand. I mean, 10-15% a month type thing going up. And now they're finally coming back down to reality. And I mean, there's no way I would have been able to afford a Clone Wars 1, which is the first appearance of Ahsoka Tano in comics, and Captain Rex. There's a 9.8 CGC 9.8. Back during the height of COVID, it was like over $3,000 for this book, and there's no way I could have ever afforded it. So for me, even though I bought a few comic books during that market boom, I am more than happy with prices, going through the floor and setting new lows every year or every month, because it makes it a lot more affordable for the ones I still want to add to my collection. So
well, that's why your channel's informative, because I was talking to Jeff Barker at Chasing 80s, and we were talking about the Kanan comics, and I got the full run of those and put them in a box, just left them. And we were talking, he told me, you see on AFG how much these came, and I went, what? You know what I mean? So to me, because to me they're just comics, so I'll just stick them in there, put them away, and that's it. So people like yourself that make these videos, you're like, that's really interesting.
Well, Tim at Boss Bounty, he had 15 or 20 key issue comics that were like untouched. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? You need to grade these. So he sent them to me. I got them pressed and cleaned with my presser, and then I sent them off to CGC, and he got 9.6s, 9.8, 9. I mean, it was unbelievable. I was like, Tim, you probabably bought this for $5. It's now worth $300, because you got a 9.8 on it. So it's crazy.
Oh, sorry, Matt. Go on.
Sorry,
Matt,
no. When you say pressed and cleaned, what do they actually put them in a metal press and then?
So comics, especially modern comics, they're made on such Marvel comics, especially, they are made on such crappy paper, ultra thin. The inks are really terrible, and when even like fresh out of the box, they're very wavy and have defects or minor spine ticks or folds. So before I send anything, I haven't done it in a while, but when I was really sending in a lot of comic books to CGC to be graded, you always want to send them off, especially modern stuff. You always want to send them off to a presser, and a presser usually uses like a steam cleaning process where they use parchment paper and separate the cover from the rest of the book. Steam clean it, press it, and then they can even use little erasers to get ink defects off or other kind of blemishes that are fresh out of the printer, and then you send them off to get graded. And CGC offers the service as well, but they take like 8 months to press. But if you got a guy on Instagram, you can do it in 2 weeks. So I found a guy on Instagram who does my books whenever I send them off, and it helps improve your chances for getting a high grade on books. It's certainly not necessary, but to me, it's worth the $10 a book. If you're sending if you got a $50 book, it's worth the $10 to because the price difference between a CGC 9.8 and a 9.6 is very substantial. For Clone Wars 1, it might be $1,800 right now for a CGC 9.8. You can get a CGC 9.6 for less than half that price. So it's because the population of those 9.8 grades are so minuscule that if you're a 9.8 collector like me, there's not many that come around that can be affordable. So it just improves your chances.
So would you, what I'm just thinking, for anyone to start collecting normal comics and then maybe get them graded, what sort of issues do you recommend? I always the first appearances, don't they? But what are the comics to sort of get at the moment? Do you recommend?
That's a great question. And I just had a comic book video yesterday on my channel where I went through not only vintage books, but also modern new releases. And quite honestly, it's playing Russian roulette with modern stuff, because it's so heavily printed that there's going to be a lot of 9.8s because everyone knows the game now, right? So with modern releases, you really want to get what's called the retail incentive covers, where for every one of the standard cover or every 50 of the standard cover, only one of the 1 in 50 cover is printed. So it's obviously there's a lot less of those. So when the Mandalorian had their comic books that came out, I said in my video, I was like, this is 6 months ago. I was like, I'm telling you, The Mandalorian #2 is the book to get, not The Mandalorian #1. Everybody and their mother is going to be getting The Mandalorian #1 because it's the first appearance of The Mandalorian. But Mandalorian #2 is the first appearance of Grogu. And it's going to have way less printing. And I was proven correct, because the 1 in 50 for issue #1, you know, it spiked up right at the beginning. But now it's like, you know, very inexpensive. Versus issue number 2, that's been out for 3 or 4 or 5 months now, and that book still is $200. So it all comes down to supply and demand, right? But beyond first appearances, you want to look at like key issue or key events. And here's a good example of one. This is the first face-to-face meeting of Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader in comic books, and it's just an awesome cover. This is Star Wars number 35 from 1980, and it says the Dark Lord's Gambit. And it's got all the heroes there. It shows Vader kind of playing chess with them. But, as it's labeled right here on the label, it's first face-to-face meeting of Luke and Darth Vader in comics. And at the time I bought it, it was one of 39 that exists in a 9.8 grade. 39. And so it's gone up since then because people have caught on to it. But I bought 2 issues of this in a 9.8 grade because, number one, it's just an amazing cover. And I don't really care what the value does, because to me, this is a piece of history, man. We got the first meeting of Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker in comic books. I mean, and with that epic 1970s vibe to the cover, I mean, this is kind of the kind of thing I'll buy and hold forever. I'm never going to sell this. My wife will sell it when I'm dead. Because
would that be the thing? If your house is on fire, you grab that? Then is that one of the things that you would?
No, not really. I mean, I think if my house was on fire. I've had that question asked a lot, by the way.
Yeah, you do.
I mean,
you do. Yeah.
If my family's safe and the fire hasn't spread to my collection room yet, I mean, I'll start boxing some stuff up here and there and grab the big boy items to help pay for the fire damage. But at the end of the day, it's all just stuff, right? And quite honestly, the reason I do the channel. The reason I'm pretty active and do this kind of stuff. I enjoy talking about toys. I enjoy hanging out with you guys and, meeting new people. Honestly, most of my best friends are not local. Most of my best friends are through Star Wars collecting. And, that's what brings me the joy. So at the end of the day, these are all just stuff. It's all plastic dolls and printed paper wrapped in acrylic. Who cares? To me, it's the relationships. It's the relationships that have formed over the last.
It's nice having a channel and so forth, but meeting people, it's getting to know the community. That's the memories.
It's so much fun. Much fun.
It's so funny. Before I was doing this, Connor used to, I mean, he still does, but he'll play his Xbox or whatever. And you pop you into his bedroom and what are you doing? Oh, I'm playing, I don't know, whatever with my friends. Who are you online with? Oh, some guy that I've met in America. And you go, well, they're not your friends, are they? Because you don't know them.
Yeah, it's so different.
3 years later. And I'm like, I'm just going online with my friends. Who? Where? Shabby's in America and so's in Mike's in Australia.
I mean, I've got we got a toy convention coming here locally this coming May, and people that I've met through my Patreon supporters or just friends. I mean, I told my wife this is how awesome my wife is, right? I said, honey, I've got some guys coming into town for 4 days for this toy convention. I'm not saying you have to, but could you take the kids out of town for those 4 days? She didn't bat an eye. She didn't bat an eye. She said, no problem. So I'm going to have 5 guys spending the night at my house, for 4 days to go to this 4-day toy convention. We're going to be grilling out and playing, games. So it's awesome.
How do you think that conversation would go, Shabby, if me and you had it with Jen and Rach?
I think my wife would be all right.
I know how hard it'd go.
I was shocked. I thought she was going to laugh at me and say, hell no. But she immediately said, no problem. I'm out. Probably because she doesn't want to smell us. Smelly convention guy, who hasn't showered in 4 days. Sunday afternoon rolls around. We're all going to smell like stale French fries and potpourri. It's going to be terrible.
I just wanted to say these guys here a long time ago. They're new guys on YouTube, UK guys. I just found them the other week. They're great, 2 guys. Go and subscribe to these guys and follow them. They do a little late sort of pre-recorded live stream, and they talk about the load of them they're trying to collect. They're trying to collect the 96 graded. So
wow.
I think they're cousins, the 2 guys. So I've watched them a couple of times. So everyone go and give them a sub. So I think
I will. I'll check them out.
Yeah.
So John, let me ask you something, John. Right. So let's get down to the nitty gritty, ruler.
Let's get down to brass tacks, gentlemen. Let's do it.
Is there something that you've tried to source and you just can't get your hands on, and you're like, oh, I've got to have. Is there not necessarily a holy grail, but something out there that you would love to have, and you've never managed to get it?
Yeah, one of them. It's not really that rare, but I just cannot find one for some reason, and that's the tri-logo Bush. I've the Palatoy tri-logo. Admittedly, I have very specific requirements. I want it to be really clean, and it doesn't have to be a 90, but I want it to be pretty clean. I put out want to buy posts. I probably put out 10 want to buy posts over the last year, and just stagger them. Never get one response, and lo and behold, on Dark Side Alliance on Facebook, a perfect one comes up, and I missed it by milliseconds. Me and a guy named Mark. Mark was buying every one of them. He's like, claim. I missed it by literally. I mean, if you look at the timestamps, I missed it by less than a second. I mean, it was just. I was so gutted. I was gutted. So that's one I've been looking for probably about 3 years that I always just seem to not find, and it's not.
When you go to Echo next week, we're looking for a tri-logo.
If you find one, please message me, because I've been looking everywhere for a nice, clean, 80 kind of quality one.
Tim's always looking for you, I guess, John. He's always looking for a lot of things. Just a couple. If they do a HasLab, is there anything that you would love as a HasLab thing? A vehicle or something, a dream HasLab for yourself? I know you like anything graded, but you still. Have you got a Razor Crest on it?
No. I had one pre-ordered, and I probably should have kept it. But I was like, where am I going to put this? My wife is going to kill me if I have this thing in my house. So I canceled it. But the only one I really would like to have, and if it ever did become a reality, which I doubt it ever will, would be the Rebels Ghost. That would because I love the Rebels cartoon, and if that ever happened, it would be really hard to not buy that.
It's just unbelievable. They've never done that ship, isn't it? It's crazy.
Oh, it's so awesome.
The one that sits on the back of it. I remember it came in that Force Awakens line. What was it called? The Shadow or something? The
little shuttle bit. Yeah. They did
it was the Phantom. The Phantoms, something like that.
Was it? I remember. Yeah, I have that.
Or the Spectre. It's something related to Ghost. I know that.
They never did the Ghost. No, that is strange that they never made that, because that's an awesome looking ship.
Is there anything else you collect except Star Wars? Is there anything else? Is just Star Wars graded?
No, I mean, I got trading cards, but they're all Star Wars trading cards. And really, the only thing kind of outside of Star Wars that I collect, I do have some kind of key issue Marvel comics from other lines, or like Batman comics, Wolverine, Spider-Man. I've got some really nice ones that I've added here and there, or other series that really speak to me, like Something Is Killing the Children is a real favorite series of mine from the comics. That I don't know if they'll ever be worth anything. I don't care. I just love the artwork on them. But I've got probably 225th anniversary G.I. Joes on the wall, carded 25th anniversary. But at one point I had a lot of AFA graded vintage Hasbro G.I. Joes, but I can't keep it all, right? So a lot of those, all of those had to be sold. And it was something like 80 of them I had mint on card, all AFA graded. But obviously all that money just got plowed right back into Star Wars. But I just don't have the space anymore, unfortunately, for anything else other than Star Wars.
And you still pick up the vintage, you still buy the vintage collection, don't you? And then just get it straight away. You send it off for grading, I guess, do you? So,
I mean, I just got some back from the graders, but I've really slowed down. There's I got the Mandalorian. This is the Super Commando, and he came back a nice high grade. I got some General Grievous, the foil and the non-foil. Those were given to me by channel subscribers. I mean, how nice is that? They came back with 90s. I mean, that's a generous gift. Yeah. So, but I've really slowed down on my vintage collection, and it's mainly because of space. So I've had to sell off some of the ones that I had way too many at one point, and I just had to kind of. It's like, okay, just pick the ones that you like, So I just pick out the ones I really like now.
Of course, of course, Tim's probably sent you quite a few over, because just getting a mint over.
Man, he sent me the Bespin security guard signed by Quentin Pierre.
Oh yes,
the actor. That was a really awesome gift. So I definitely am going to send that in to get. Graded and all that stuff. So
that was the last Echo Live, wasn't it?
He also, and I'll say this, he also sorted out those new Boba Fetts that are coming out with those really awesome card backs, like the comic book style card backs that they got. I mean, good luck getting them over here from Walmart or Amazon and all that, because they just are all beat to hell. So Tim is my trusted buddy for some of those store exclusives.
If you had to pick another toy line though, John, from your childhood, say for example you're going to start fresh tomorrow with a new, what toy line would you choose to do this all over again with?
Oh, it would still be Star Wars, but if it had to be something else, I mean, I collected and played with and at one point, my room in here was a mix. It wasn't just Star Wars. I had, AFA graded Transformers. I had, He-Man and stuff like that. I didn't have any graded He-Man, but I played with He-Man a lot as a kid. It was a personal favorite of mine. Transformers were definitely awesome. Those were kind of G.I.joe. Those were kind of the big three, other than Star Wars, that I played with as a kid. And I had, some Secret Wars figures. I love those. I had a number of mint on card Secret Wars characters, even some of those rare kind of international releases. I had a bunch of those in here, and I just, at some point I threw up my hands and said, I can't have it all. So I just tried to pare it down to Star Wars now.
Brilliant. Well, there's loads of people in the chat here just going through. So I'm sorry.
Nice.
I've written down loads of questions here. If you ever come across, I've probably been asked, if you come across anything like faked, if anyone sort of made a case or anything and put the fakes.
I've seen a few of those. It's pretty rare, but there was a rash of those on eBay for a while where someone had faked AFA labels and AFA items, and they were absolutely fake. But it's pretty rare, honestly. It's pretty easy to spot, so most people don't try it. But the fakes are really related to like resealed cards or reproduction card backs. I see those. I mean, every week when I'm doing my searches for my videos. I mean, every week I see the fakes, or the reproduction weapons. Obviously, is a big one, and but in general, the grading, it's pretty hard to fake those, to be honest.
Is I mean, you've been buying graded stuff for a long time. You've got these companies, and companies of like, I think it's like 3 main companies now that grade. I don't know if it's wrong, but how can anyone just start? I know you've got to have some some cred behind you really to start a grading company. I don't know. Is there laws? I don't know. I wouldn't. Anyone know? I don't know.
No, I mean, there's smaller kind of mom and pop shops that do it. There's one in Canada. There's one in the UK. There's one in the US called APG. I mean, I don't collect those, but I think CAS is probably the best example of a fairly recent grading company that has gained some traction. And I think a lot of it is due to their social media presence, and but they did hire a number of experts. They have really their cases, in my opinion, for maybe not for the loose graded. I still think UKG has the best loose graded cases on the market right now, but CAS's cases for mint on card and their custom stuff. I mean, I've got some loose die cast ships that are at CAS. I got 4 of them right now there, and I guarantee you that nobody competes with them in terms of their custom cases. So they all have their strengths and weaknesses, but it's a lot of startup capital that you got to have. I mean, you saw what UKG did with investing in the brand new case styles and all that. I guarantee you they spent hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to get those machines up to kind of modern style. And it's not an easy process. There's certainly smaller mom and pops, but it shows in the case quality and obviously with the level of expertise they're bringing to the table versus some of these other guys.
Yeah, because we've had because Jeff Guppy, don't you? So he's one of your I think he's one of your patrons, isn't he? And
he's going to be on my channel actually. He's got like 80 something items at UKG, so we're going to do a live stream on my channel.
All right,
where he's going to unbox them and show us what he got. So I'm excited about that.
I'm surprised he's not here in the chat because he only lives about half an hour away from me because you live in the same sort of county. So, great guy. I'm surprised he's not been on, but yeah, he showed us the new versions now where they're all that laser cut and they put the weapon in.
They're amazing.
Yeah,
they've really stepped it up. I mean, they're beautiful cases, and to me, if you look at it, I'm going to make a video on comparing mint on card cases and loose graded cases. And to me, CAS has got the the mint on card cases. They're the best on the market, in my opinion. Now they didn't used to be, even last year, but nobody's cases compared to UKG, in my opinion. They're by far the best cases on the market for loose graded figures.
Yeah,
Luke, if you had to grade something, Luke, in your collection, what would you think of grading?
Well, oh God, there's a couple of things actually. You know, I mean, you were talking about it earlier. Well,
that's what I thought, Matt.
There was when we were talking to Jeff Barker a few months ago. Obviously, heavily influenced me into getting a Transformers #1.
Nice.
Now, I don't think it'd get a great grade, but I would be tempted to get it done.
Right.
So then,
hey Luke, I don't mean to cut you off here, but
yeah.
I have a CGC membership for probably the next 5 or 6 months before it expires, and I've sent stuff in for Tim and for other people. So if you want to get it graded, I'm happy to send it in for you, but you got to send it to me, and then I'll send it to them, and blah blah blah. But I've done that for a few folks.
I mean that goes on to something. I mean, I would be tempted, but I don't think it would get a good grade, John. So would it be worth it? I think.
There's no harm.
I mean, get above a 5 or something, but.
I guess if you get it pressed as well, that helps, does it? As well.
Yeah,
you get it
I've got a presser. He can. I mean, you'd be amazed what pressers can do. They can get out a lot of defects.
I've just not.
Yeah.
I would. I mean, I'd be happy to talk to you about that. I mean, I would consider it. Yeah,
there
definitely. Thank
you.
I've just knocked a load of things off my shelf trying to get something. But so the other two things would be, I've got a Dusty Haze that is fresh out of a baggie, which I would consider getting graded. He's literally fresh out of his vintage bag.
Is he rare then? Is he? Why
no, no, he's not a rare figure, but the fact that he was, I bought him still in his packaging, so he's only ever had my fingers sort of touching it.
Right.
And then recently I got this from Ron, a good friend of Scuba's, which I wouldn't mind sending in. I mean,
that's cool.
The card is a little bit obviously warped, but
they do warp. Yeah, those cards they do.
But it's in good nick. So I
would get it graded. That
crease, but again, I just think it would look nice in a case. But
look at the size of that card back. I mean, it's massive. That's awesome.
It's big, yeah. So there is a few bits that I would consider doing, but it's the turnaround. It puts me off.
Yeah, you gotta just forget about it. It's hard to forget about it for that amount of time, isn't it?
But, so. I mean, with the comics, to be fair, when I bought. I mean, I want to buy the Transformers 1 to 4 because I believe they were a mini story or a mini series before they carried on. So I want to get 1 to 4, but I've been looking in the UK just for acrylic cases for comics, not getting them graded, just a straight up acrylic case to put a comic in, and I struggled to find them. Them unless you want to get it graded. You can get obviously cases for figures and card backs, but not really hard to get them for comics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't buy just slabs for comics, can you?
No, I don't think so.
Can you? No. Can you, John? I don't know.
I never knew that, Matt. I never knew that.
I've got a display case that fits a graded comic. Like it's a display stand type thing, and you just slide in the CGC case. So you could put a raw comic in that, but it would be a little bit loose versus because it's set up. It's sized for a CGC slab.
Be able to buy them off the shelf. Somebody would just do it like they do, like GW, like they do figure cases. But it's so difficult to find them.
The flip side of that, though, if it was me, you'd want them to do it properly, wouldn't you? And you want them to do it. So maybe the time, you're like, well, at least they're not rushing it. If I got it back in a week, I'd be a bit like, hang on a minute,
But I'm completely new. I'm completely new to grading. And I was talking to, again, it was a few months ago, I was talking to Tim, Boss Bounty Tim, and he was saying about getting some of the mask figures graded, because I went onto the UKG website, and obviously they have everything there you can send in and get graded, and they'll grade loose mask figures. And I mean, I had no idea sort of just how far you could take it. And now Tim was saying to me that he said you can send your stuff in, and he said even send a note in it with what you want writing on the sticker. Even do a drawing of how you want it, like put it in the case. So do you want the helmet or the mask next to him there? Do you want it underneath? He said just draw a picture and they'll do it for you how you want it. And I just thought it does appeal to me getting something done, but then when you look at it, it says 7 month turnaround. I don't want to lose it for that amount of time, even though
Yeah, so, you're thinking, oh, I could do this as a good series of videos, but then you got to think about it in 6 months' time or 7 months' time. All right, just hard, isn't it?
You see Luke at 2 o'clock in the morning, worried sick, like
but it does appeal to me, John. It does appeal to me. I would like to do it.
I don't know where UKG is in UK. I don't know actually where they're based.
I don't seem to see a lot of mask stuff graded. You know,
well, you've got all yours in acrylic cases at the back, but how many of them are actually grade? Did you ever think, well, I'll send this off for grading, or we just?
No, well, again, I think the only one. I mean, the two at the end are customs. They were done by a friend of mine, but the T-bob, the bubbles cut, so the T-bob would be pointless getting done. But this one that Ron sent me, again, Scuba's friend. Well, my friend as well. I keep saying Scuba's friend, it's my friend.
Oh, Scuba News, everyone, doesn't he? There we go. Sure.
He got me this, and it's unpunched as well, and it's about as flawless as you'll get.
Wow, that's nice.
Still got the target sticker on, if you can see it there.
Yeah.
You know,
nice.
So I would consider that one, but letting it out my sight again for that amount of time, just.
You as well, Matt. Like I say, because you've got all them behind you, Matt. But you just use it for protection more than the grading.
Yeah, I've got a couple of I've got a couple of graded ones. I've got a Boss graded. I can't remember which ones I've got now graded now. Actually, there's a few are graded anyway. So, but I don't have many. So but yeah, gentlemen, we've reached it. We've gone past 10 o'clock already.
Wow,
it's flown by. Flown by. We could have John on for another. Maybe try and get him back on again in maybe a year's time.
I need to get you guys. I need to get you guys on my channel. I am terrible about setting up live streams. So I promise at some point this year I'll get my act together and I'll get you guys on to just kind of hear more about your story on my channel and let my subscribers learn about you guys.
Well, honestly, you've been brilliant this past hour.
Thanks for coming on. You know you're sick. Thanks for coming on. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. It was a lot of fun. And let's do it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've just checked as well. I am subbed to you, John. I'm even subbed. I'm just going to admit, am I subbed?
Yeah, well, I love it. Just get the daily news, what to get and what to get. So because I still keep saying I want to start getting comics and then get them graded, but I just can't bite the bullet. I don't know what it is with comics.
You're a smart man. Trust me, Matt. You're smart.
I can't buy them and just leave them there. I would want to read them, and it's like, no, you can't.
I think there was just too many. I did it when I never really. Our Simon's a huge comic book. I mean, he just did his thing with Universal Toy Collector. Him, Jeff Bargain, they're massive on the comics. They've got all the comics into a kid, but I was never really into him. So when Star Wars was introduced again in 2015-14, I thought, right, this is my opportunity now to get him in. And I got all the Dr. Aphras, the Star Wars, the Landos, Tarkin, Faz. But he just got so much. He just got there was coming out with 8-9 a month, and I was like,
it's too much. I agree. It's hard. You gotta pick and choose your battles.
Yeah, I mean the Poe Dameron was good. The Kanan was really good. So I got all them, but they ended, and I thought, all right, but as soon as I think I did the first season, if you will, of the comics of Star Wars, then I didn't get the second when it started again. I thought, no, I'm happy with these now. So.
That Kanan series is awesome, by the way. I've got 1 in 6 or something like that graded. Yeah. I just love those covers. They're beautiful.
Really good.
I just want to say a big thank you, John, for coming on. I want to thank everyone who's come and watched us tonight. We've had a few new people in the chat tonight, so thank you everyone. So thank you everyone, and hopefully we'll see you next Friday. So
thanks again, guys.
Luke, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks, Luke, for coming
nice to meet you, Luke.
Yeah, good to meet you, John. We'll speak again, I'm sure.
All right, guys. See y'all soon.
See you later. See you later, everyone. Bye.